Awesome. Okay, well, thanks, Marty. So everybody, my name is Vince. I'm with Listings to Leads, and we are an online marketing company. We focus, we bring a lot of the tools to our clients that real estate agents want, but we also do it in a way that really focuses on generating leads, not just branding, not just giving informational handouts, but actually taking those same tools and getting leads, getting traffic back to you. So I'm showing you this page because this is actually what our website is about to look like. We're kind of doing a revamp, and you're going to come to this page in the next couple weeks, and I don't want you to be surprised. Um, but it's saying right here, like, start your free trial. You don't need to do that. You actually have an account already. This is my little puppy dog thing. That was kind of ridiculous. But where you will, when you come to the system, it's going to look kind of like this, right? And you may or may not log in. You don't necessarily need to because a lot of the tools are all automatically going out. But what I want to do is show you what those tools look like, how they get found on the internet, how you use them, um, and then talk about some sort of broader strategies. And one of those broader strategies, um, when you log into the account, you'll see some articles that we're talking about in regards to Facebook lead generation. Okay. Now you may or may not use Facebook. Our clients have been using it for a while, and they're using the new pay-per-click advertising, and they're getting incredible results. They're doing it with just a few listings. So we're going to talk about that at the end of the call. It is an important part. If you think about online marketing and real estate or online lead generation, for many years, Craigslist was the leading place, and actually, our existence it was really built upon Craigslist as we started the company 5 years ago. Um, Craigslist took a dramatic turn last fall in 2013, and it's still important. You still need to be there. We still have tools to help you get there. However, it's definitely uh, it's definitely changed, and we see Facebook being an incredible resource right now. So we'll get into that, as I said, on the tail end of this call. But what I want to show you now is sort of the key tools. There's a lot of tools that we create automatically with your listings. Your listings are coming in this system from a listing feed. You don't have to upload them. And they come in and there's a dashboard like this, right? And we start to auto-generate tools for you. I'm going to go look at Marty real quick. I want to see, I want to kind of put my name in his account, and we'll kind of test in his listings there. I might have done this on the call we did earlier this week, so let me look real quick. Oh, we'll kind of turn this off. We'll turn this off here. I'll leave you there, Marty, but I'm going to put my email address so as we're testing some things out, they can get in my mailbox and I can show everybody what they're kind of looking like. Okay. Your account, everybody, is sort of set up. However, in the profile page, you might want to add your own social networking if you're kind of building strategies out in, let's say, Facebook. You might want to sort of join us on Facebook icon. You can do that on your profile. Okay. So I'm going to go and look at Marty's listings, which are over here. And when you log in, if you're logging in as an agent, you'll just see your listings. You won't see everyone's listings. But the interface is the same. And so I want to kind of jump into what sort of happens here because we haven't turned things on. However, properties, a lot of the automation goes on. So your listings are here. You can see the address. As Marty mentioned at the beginning of the call, you do have a listing presentation. And that listing presentation is a really high level document. It kind of shows some big graphics and it says these are the kinds of tools that we create, right? And what I want to point out is every one of these addresses is kind of hyperlinked. You can see here when I move my mouse over it. I'm going to click on that. And this is what we call a marketing checklist. Okay, this is a great tool to take alongside of that listing presentation. Now later on, when we kind of get into this, you're going to see that we focus on generating 3 types of leads: buyer leads, referral leads, and seller leads. So this is a great tool once you get that seller lead to kind of get involved, right? And bring this checklist along with a listing presentation, and it shows all the things we're going to do, right? And all the things you can do with listings to leads. Now you can print this at the top. It's got your information at the bottom. But in terms of a marketing checklist, it's pretty comprehensive, right? And it's really communicating all the things you can do with this system, and makes the potential seller, I mean, it's really hard to compete against that. So they can see everything that you can bring to the table, and obviously we focus on the top systems or websites in the internet. So you're going to be able to convey that pretty easily with a listing presentation, and that tool you can do that. But what I want you to focus on now for generating buyer leads is I want you to focus on the 4 buttons that are right here, and there are 2 red buttons and 2 blue buttons, and we're going to walk through them real quick. Now, we should be getting YouTube configured for the office so that your listings automatically go to YouTube. You don't need to touch them. That's an important thing for a seller to know, because YouTube is, I think, the number 4 or 5 website in the country, and everybody knows YouTube, so you got to be able to speak to it. But over here, the single property website is really where we get started, and this gets emailed to you. We're going to start turning on the automation. It gets emailed to you and sent directly to your email address, and you get a hyperlink, just like when we click there, it's a hyperlink, and you open it up, and it has sort of everything just listed, you know, the address, the home, follow this home, schedule a showing. These go directly to you, right? So when people want to contact you, they can, right? Now, there are some buttons right here: Pinterest, Google, share to Facebook, Twitter. If you're doing anything like that, that's where you want to share this, right? It's got your contact info. As you can see, it's got automatic lead generation popping up all over the place. And anytime somebody fills out one of these lead capture forms, bang, it goes right to your email, okay? So this tool arrives in your mailbox automatically for each listing. It's a single property website, and you can share it and do things like that. You want to get visibility on it, right? That's what we're after. If people also aren't feeling like, hey, I don't want this house, maybe it's too big for me, right? Or maybe who knows what it is. When people see your homes online, not everyone wants to buy your particular home. We've also created links here that are kind of relevant to the listing, right? Search all homes is a good sort of general basket, and it drives people over to your office website, so that consumers can also sort of click and find more listings if they're not interested in that particular one. So if you've got your ads out there on social networks, you've got your virtual tours on Zillow or Trulia, you've got some of our tools. I'm going to show you how they get over to Facebook. People see these things and they like it, great. If they don't like it, well, you give them some options and you're able to keep communicating with them. So that's really a great point of the Listings to Leads program. Is we know not everybody wants to buy every particular house that you're selling, but we give them options to get to you anyway. So that's the single property website, and that's the first of the 4 tools that really you got to focus on when you want to generate buyer leads. There's also this tool here, which is the next button, and it's called the virtual tour. So when we click the virtual tour button, you actually click the red button. There's a branded virtual tour, and what I want you to focus on is the branded virtual tour. You click this green button, and it's auto-generated. You can copy the link here, but you can also see the virtual tour here. So let's just click and look at this real quick. And you don't have to do anything to create this, right? It's just automatically created, taking photos from the MLS. Now, this is kind of unusual here, the way that these photos are kind of small, and I would say something, I'd make a recommendation, and Marty's probably already thinking on his own. If you've got a luxury property or something, you know, really you want to showcase, you might want to take an extra step and upload bigger photographs so that this just looks a lot nicer. And when you do that, we even create some more high-end looking virtual tours. This is an auto-generated virtual tour, and it's sweeping in the photos from the MLS, which appear to be compressed. However, the thing about the virtual tour is it's got the same kind of messaging. It's just listed. It might be coming soon. It might be under contract. It's got your lead generation links. It's got all the contact information. It's got your branding. So it's got branding, but it's also got lead generation, and that's always the key. So as I said, you want to copy this link here, and you want to get it out on the internet. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to kind of say one more thing. I'm going to show you what that looks like on the internet. That home there looks like it's kind of a unique home, high-end home. And so you might want to click this button here, this big weird red one, and upload some, just direct photos, high quality photos. You're able to do that there. It sweeps them right in, and you're good to go. It'll replace the ones coming in from the MLS. But I want to show you what this looks like out on Trulia, and why we do it, right? Why we want you to do it. And I can't remember, because I know I spoke with Marty earlier this week, and we were talking about how we're going to get this part done. But you should all, as a real estate agent, have your own free account on Zillow and Trulia. If leads get created on those sites, which sometimes they do, they won't go to you if you don't even have a basic profile. Now, when you do set up a basic profile, of course, they're going to start contacting you to upgrade. And that's not really necessary, and that's not really what we're talking about. But by having a basic free profile on these sites, it allows you to claim your listing and edit your listing. Okay, and when people see your listing out here, this particular client has kind of a higher level of they're paying where they're the only agent. But many times you are a listing agent on the right side of your listing, and there are 3 or 4 other agents there that say pro next to them. And for a consumer, they don't know exactly who they need to be speaking with, right? So, but the real point of, one of the key points of listings to leads is that we know, and you know, that not everybody really wants to talk to a real estate agent all the time. They just want more information. And one of the great things about information is they want to see a virtual tour. So there's a link here that says see the virtual tour. And when you click on it, it pulls up our virtual tour. So what we're asking is, hey, let's get the virtual tour in Zillow, in Trulia. If you were a Showcase Real Estate office, you could put it on Realtor.com. But it just takes a couple seconds to copy that, log into find your listing, and push it in there, so that when people see your listings up there on those sites, they have the ability to click a virtual tour, look at it, and say, gosh, that's great. I want to contact this agent, right? Because this is all about this agent, right? If they don't want this particular home, well, they can also say, hey, I'm going to click on, I'm looking at a home in Roseville. I don't want it, it's too big, or I don't like the kitchen. So let's go look over at the other Roseville homes for sale. And we take people away from Trulia and away from Zillow, and we get them back to you, okay? And that's the key. It's not only getting our ads out there, but it's also getting people to be able to interact with you, and if they don't want your particular home, to get back to you. So those are kind of the 2 main tools, or 2 of the 4 main tools for marketing the home. I'm going to take a quick break here. Are there any questions so far on what we looked at? We really only talked about the single property website to be shared up on social networks, and the virtual tour to get on Zillow and Trulia. Any questions so far?
The virtual tour that goes on it all out, do you have any control on what pictures are bold?
What pictures are bold, did you say?
Yes.
Well, do we have any control? I can't quite, Marty, what is that question? I couldn't quite hear that.
She just wanted you to know any control over the pictures in the virtual tour, but it just pulls automatically, as I understand it, or you make your own original photos.
Correct.
Right?
Yep. So,
So you make your own virtual tour?
yeah. So I'll go through that. So that question is, what control do you have on your virtual tour, right? Those photos. And
The tool was out and it pulled out a bathtub. The first picture on the thing was a bathtub.
oh God, the first picture was a bathtub. Okay, that's never good. Okay. So when you do what you're looking for there, I'm going to click. You see this edit button here? This is where you can actually edit your listing. You can change the price, you can change the bedrooms, and you can change all kinds of fun stuff like that. You can also put, we'll come back here and look at this in a little bit. But you can also, over here on the top left, click Edit Images. And when you click Edit Images, you're going to see all of your photos. And you were kind of mentioning that one was up front, and that doesn't, you don't want that, right? If you can see, I'm going to click on my photo here, and I'm going to drag it from left to right. So it's just a drag and drop. And that's how you control your photos, and then that's what flows through the virtual tour.
And you put captions on it.
You certainly can put captions right here. Um, you can go pretty far. You can even upload a video in your virtual tour, right? It could be a testimonial, or you could you walking through the house, or you talking about the area. But yeah, you can certainly put captions right here and save them, right? Um, and that might be something that you like to do. Um, we know that just the the way the tool comes out, aside from the order that you've mentioned, um, it does what we're interested in doing, which is it generates leads. But certainly you can go put captions and all kinds of great things on there. Okay. Let's see here. So those are the first two now tools there. Any more questions on the virtual tour? Okay. So what I also, the other two tools that generate buyers also generate referrals. Okay. And we know that referrals are really important to real estate agents. And the thing about that is most real estate agents will, ideally sell a home or help somebody buy a home. And after that transaction is complete, give them some business cards and say, hey, if you know anybody, please, let them know I'm here. Well, when you have a listing and listings to leads, we want to use tools to generate buyers, but also get in front of your sellers' friends and family to learn about you during that process. And we do that right here. I'm going to click the e-flyer button, and we're going to see a series of tools, okay? And these are flyers. I'm going to click on one real quick. You can click on a magnifying glass to look at it, and it's got kind of the normal stuff: branding, just listed, your picture, contact you, go to the website, things like that, right? And that's sort of to be expected. This status here is kind of new for most real estate folks. And also these links, making an e-flyer actually able to generate leads is also still very new. But this is the first flyer. It's just listed. If we go behind it, we start to see that, whoa, 2 weeks later, a single property website flyer comes out. And 2 weeks after that, a virtual tour comes out. And if I go and put an open house in the system, I'll get a whole series of open house tools. And if the property goes pending or under contract or active contingent or things like that, I start to get other flyers and other tools, right? You also get down here, and then of course there's just sold. And I'm going to show you why we would even want to do that. I'm going to tie it all together for you. But we also get this seller marketing report. And this is the first piece of seller engagement. We want them to see, hey, we're marketing your home. And you know how I showed you that we talked about the listing presentation, we talked about the checklist. This is the first piece your clients as sellers should get. Here's everything we're doing to market your home: mobile, online, email, Facebook. We're doing WordPress. We're doing Craigslist. And then here's me at the bottom. This is a long, kind of robust email. We want your clients to be impressed. We're not talking about listings to leads. We're talking about you and your office. And we want this to get to you, so just go in and send this to you, or it should come out automatically to you. But if you lose it or you forgot where it is, you can always just click this send button and it'll go to you. But the other tools, as I showed you, they come out in terms of, they come out every couple weeks, right? And here's the big thing, and what do you want to do with this? I'm actually going to send this to myself right now. And when something comes to me, it'll tell you the email it's going to here. It basically, I'm going to show you the instructions. Hopefully it's in my mailbox already. Let's see here. Yeah. So, let's wait one more second. It's coming, but that's the social media one. So we get a Facebook ad and we get a kind of a flyer, okay? And here's the key about what we do with that. I think when you think about an e-flyer, it's not that interesting, right? An e-flyer is really something that when somebody calls you and says, hey, I'm interested in a home, I see it online, do you have any info? Yeah, here's an e-flyer. Great. Our e-flyers and Facebook ads are not like that. They're designed to go out preemptively, early, throughout the process and get in front of people. And here's an example of how that works. You can't quite see it, but this is instructions that's meant to go to your seller. So this e-flyer, this message is going to go to you, and then you forward it to the seller. And what it tells the seller is this is designed to help sell your home, and copy the information between the red lines and go put it on your Facebook wall. Not your agent Facebook wall, but your client's Facebook wall, right? And why would we want to do that? Well, here's the reason why. Facebook is the #2 website in the country. If you have clients on Facebook, they've probably got somewhere between 200 to 500 friends that have never heard of you, okay? And all they have to do is copy the line that we gave you in the email, and when they post this, there's going to be a few hundred people that are going to see this ad. And notice that it's already pre-written. Our home is for sale. Marty Gum at BHHS Lake Ozark Realty created this and many other tools that are going to be used to market our home on the internet. And what happens when somebody clicks on that? Well, any of those links brings them to a page like this. And this is all about capturing leads for you, okay? Now I got to repeat it because I talk fast and can't remember what I'm saying. Facebook is the #2 website in the country because people spend hours a day on that, right? So if your clients put your name over and over every few weeks, their friends and family are going to see that you work at Lake Ozark, right? And they're going to see all these things that you're doing. Maybe you've got it coming soon. Maybe you've got a home that's just listed. Maybe you've got an open house and a virtual tour. And over time, people are going to start to realize, wow, this person's doing a lot of work in real estate. And if I've got questions in real estate, I now know somebody that's working with them. That's a great way to build a referral. Now, we just looked at the just listed, but I'm going to show you some of the other tools in our system. This is an under contract. That's my banner up there, but your banner would be up there. So that's under contract, and the message is, hey, we got an offer on our home, but in your case, Marty, for all we want to thank Marty for all his hard work, but he still thinks we should continue to market as much as possible. So what it's saying is, I'm under contract, my home is under contract, but the real estate agent still wants to keep working until we're sure we sell this home. That's a great message about you, okay? You don't have to write it. We automatically create it, and we automatically send it to you. Take the step of sending it to your client, follow up with a 5-second phone call and say, I just sent you a Facebook ad and a flyer. If you could forward those on, I'm doing a bunch of other things to sell your home, but we want to make sure we get some more, visibility on this. That's under contract, right? There's also coming soon. If you want to enter the listing in by hand, you can do it coming soon, right? And it says this is going to help us. There's already a pre-written message about you every time. There's also, let's see, just sold, right? And in the just sold, everybody wants just sold, right? Here's naming you. We recommend working with it, paid off. Here's his contact info, automatically done. All of these things for every one of your listings have a Facebook ad and they have an e-flyer, and they are automatically done, okay? That is a great way of, consistently getting in front of your clients, friends, and family. They're gonna learn about you either via email or they're gonna learn about you via Facebook. So that's a very new concept for a lot of folks. I'd like to sort of take a second. We talked about Facebook, we talked about e-flyers. Any questions on this one?
Are those things emailed to you automatically, or do we have to go in there as we put something under contract, go in there and send it?
Okay, they are emailed automatically to you. However,
But you know when you go under contract?
no. We don't. And so I'm gonna. That's the second part of the question, but the first part is these tools go out automatically as soon as the listing hits. Boom, they go to you, and you take the initiative, right? You forward them on, and there you go. But I am going to point out this right here, because this is the second part of that question. On this property on 75 Waterfront Road, there's a double dollar flashing sign, and what that means is that the listing dropped out of the database. Now, we get your listings from a company called ListHub, And ListHub works with, hundreds of MLSs, probably thousands across the country, and every MLS is slightly different. So when it drops out, we don't know what happened. We don't know if it is active contingent, under contract, maybe it's sold. We just don't even know. It just bang, it's just gone. We leave it here, but we know that there's a double dollar flashing sign. It's a signal to us and to anybody that logs in that it's not in the system. At that point, what's going to happen is you're going to get an email. And it's going to say, hey, this listing just dropped out. Is it sold? Is it pending? What is it? And in that email is a drop down that looks just like this. And it says under contract. It gives you all the options. Once you save it, it's going to send you that tool automatically. So when it drops out of the database into that sort of pending, under contract, or just sold time, we don't know what happens, but we automatically send you a message saying, hey, what happened? Click, choose the status, save, bang. You'll get the tool emailed to you immediately. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And those under contract and just sold marketing pieces, they really reflect well on you, right? It's kind of congratulatory. It's coming from your clients and going to their friends and families. And, face it, how are you going to get that done in just the normal world, right? You're going to ask your client to write that. You're going to write that, or who has time for that? This is automatically getting created. So those are the ways of, saying to the market, these are the things I'm doing. Now, earlier in the call, right when we started, I said there's a pop-up here and it talks about Facebook. And I'm going to send a series of tutorials to Marty after the call, specifically about Facebook. And what I'm going to show you now is actually one of those tutorials, okay? And the reason I'm going to say this is because what we've talked about now is how to market your listings, right? And when we use the single property website, we use the virtual tour, we use the Facebook ads the way that I just showed you via your clients, and we also use e-flyers. These all work tremendously well. They generate leads, they can generate buyers, they can generate sellers. But I also, since we're talking about Facebook, and I've showed you a bunch of those flyers, I want to talk about a little more of an advanced strategy. You do not have to do this, but for those of you that are really thinking about your business, this does kind of tie into, and this is kind of an advanced deal here. Facebook has pay-per-click advertising. And this owner here, this agent, took our tools, like the kinds I've shown you, and put some ads on Facebook for $3 a day. And as you can see, one is like for sale, and then she also did coming soon, and she did some other tools. And basically, for a few dollars a day, what you're able to do on Facebook is say, everybody in my zip code, I want them to see I have a home coming soon. I want them to see that I have something under contract. If they're just in my zip code, doesn't matter that they know I'm on Facebook, that they like me, or they're a friend, or they like my business page. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to start posting multiple tools from listings to leads about my homes, and I'm going to be doing it for $3, $5 a day maybe. Right, and everybody in the zip code is going to see that, and they can click on it, and they can capture leads with it. That particular client generated over 235 leads for something like $3 a day for, I don't know. It ends up being like 87 cents a lead. Okay, she is like going bananas right now. Yeah, so in 30 days, 235 leads. She never expected that. We trained her on it. I spoke to her personally to make sure that she had some questions about it, and it works. Now, it is advanced stuff, but if you do want to kind of take your business and really get it rocketing, that's probably one of the best things to do. And what actually happens, and you can see this interview inside the system, and it's going to be one of the things I send you. The people on Facebook who she had never spoken to before told her, hey, you are all over the internet. I can tell you're in real estate because you're all over the place. And what happens is when you use that pay-per-click advertising in combination with our tools, the tools look like this. So like I said, they don't even have to know you. It's just the fact that you're going to take This is in Port Sema, right? So if Marty was going to do this, he could actually go something like this, boost the post, and in that process say, I want everybody in the Port Sema zip code to see it for $5, right? For maybe 3 days, $5 a day or something like that. Well, they're going to see that. It doesn't matter that they know his business page or that they've ever heard of him or anything like that. You can put a maximum budget, you can choose the zip code, and that is the complete incredible power of Facebook advertising for real estate. Okay? As I said, Facebook is #2 site in the country. #1 is Google, and I don't know of a way to control Google like that. Right? It's just super expensive, it's very unwieldy, and that's just the nature of it. What I do know is even free, in the way that I showed you, by using our tools, there is not a way for you to get in front of your clients, friends, and family and saying, I've got all these things going on in real estate, right? Now, the other thing I want to talk about, it's also related to Facebook, is some of the other tools to generate sellers, okay? And this is specifically for sellers, and this is kind of how the whole thing got started with Facebook. You have a system, you have a page in your account called landing pages. And when we click on it, we see all kinds of landing pages, right? And these are different niches, FSBOs, expireds, property valuation. I'm going to click on FSBO real quick and see if we have anything here. Yeah, we do. We have one for Lake Ozark. But could you tell me, oh yeah, I know. Let's say that you log in and you don't have anything built in there. You click on those buttons, there's nothing there. So you want to start marketing in a particular area. Let's say that area is going to be Port Sema, okay? Because you want to get more listings in Port Sema. If you want more listings in Port Sema, and I spelt that right? Just Port Sema. Oh, Porto. Got it. Thank you. So when it comes to generating listings, I think the way that I've heard about it in the past, and you probably are aware, is you could do kind of a postcard or a mailing or something like that, right? And that's a bit expensive. Sometimes I've heard somewhere between $100 to $300 to $500 to even $1,000 for a mailing. That takes time. That's including the postage and the graphic work or whatever. And you might get 5 leads, right? Just this right here, typing in the area that you want and clicking save. I'm going to click save and it says, great, your series is created. You now have a Port Sema flyer for every one of these strategies. So let's go through the few that are designed to generate seller leads. Here's one for FSBOs. And here it says Port Sema, and to see that page, I can click Port Sema landing page. And it's basically saying your marketing doesn't have to suffer just because you're doing it yourself. And they can check the things over on the right, click next, give you your contact information, and you can sort of go create a listing for them inside your account and say, hey, here's your virtual tour, here's your ad, here's your Facebook ad, here's the tools that you've asked for, right? It's free, why not do it? The reason you want to do it is that on average, a FSBO will hand that property off to a real estate agent in 2 to 3 months. And it would be great if they hand it to you, right? Well, why would they do that? Maybe because you're helping them do some free marketing. So that tool is available inside. If we click on the landing page dashboard, we also have expireds, right? And expireds are expireds in your market every month, right? And when those things go expired, those potential sellers probably get somewhere between 20 and 50 phone calls up to that, right? Saying, hey, I see your home's expiring, can I help you? Blah, blah, blah. And that person's probably so tired of talking to a real estate agent, it's ridiculous. However, they probably want more information because they've got a home to sell. So if you can get a tool like this in front of them, you can start a dialogue that way too. But the #1 tool for generating listing leads is actually this one right here, the property valuation tool. And you may have seen tools like this on the internet. There are a few companies that create them. And in here, this comes with your platform, okay? So when we click on see landing page and we click on Port Sema, what are we gonna see? We're gonna see a landing page that looks like this. There's a kind of a generic suburban background picture. That might work in your neighborhoods. I don't know what your properties look like, but I'm going to show you where you can change it. Okay. Now, before we do that, I am going to type in. I'm just going to type in some address. Okay, so you can see kind of what this looks like. 124 Walker Avenue, Walnut Creek. Let's do Homestead. See what that looks like. And when we click go, this is what we call a 2-page version. It takes us to the next page. And it says, great, we have a valuation for your home, and it's not created by a third-party generic guesstimate. Please send us give us your information. And then it shows a little map on the right-hand side of the actual property. Okay? So this is what we call a 2-page landing page for property valuation. Many people get to this page and do not want to give you their email address. They just leave the page right here. So what you'll end up receiving is a lead from Listings to Leads saying that this property was just entered into your lead capture form. Now, if they fill this out, you're going to get another lead including the contact information, right? So I want you to kind of think about that, because some agents feel like, I don't want a lead if it doesn't have an email address, right? Maybe it's some level of seriousness. Other people are like, no, I want more leads because I can find that owner. I've got some, maybe I've got a pre-listing packet I'm going to drop off or whatever, but I want to know more people because I've got a drip marketing campaign that I can turn on or whatever the reason is. So if you like more leads, this is the way to go. But if you're one of those folks that says, God, I just don't even want to lead if there's no email address, then click this edit landing page link, and you're going to see a few other kinds of tools. So right here is that default background image. If you've got, maybe you've got lakefront water or sorry, lakefront properties or something like that, and you want to change that image for the background, you can do it right here, okay? But down here is choose your landing page version. As I mentioned, we looked at the 2-page version. There's also a 1-page version, so let's click that. And when we go to the 1-page version, it looks almost identical, but you can see there's a little bar underneath that says name and email. And you cannot click the Send Now button without dropping in the email. Okay, that's just what it does. So if you really want to get leads with emails minimum, this is the tool to use, the 1-page version. You'll get fewer leads, obviously, but that's your choice, right? You could also, on the edit page where we click this link, choose to put require a phone number. You will get far fewer leads, but that's your choice. You've now got multiple options to generate listing leads, and you take this and you put it out on the internet. So let's talk about what we want to do with that on the internet, okay? And the number one place you want to put that is you want to take the hyperlink. You can't, oh yeah, you can see it. Maybe not in the recording, you can't see it. But there is a web address, and you want to take that web address and you want to take that to Listings to Lead, or not to Listings to Leads, to Facebook, and you want to create an ad on that, okay? We have typically, and we've been doing this for almost a year now, and our clients have been just signing up all over the place for that particular tool, right? For that one tool, they've been just logging in to use that. I've showed you a whole bunch of them, and I got more tools to show you, but this one tool is what people have been accessing. So let's talk about how do we get to, how do we do that, right? You may know what Facebook is, you may not use Facebook, and you may not know how to use Facebook advertising, but let's just go to our tutorial section and type in seller lead generation, and it says how to set up. This is actually inside the home page of your account as soon as you log in. And it's a very simple page here, okay? There are 3 things to do on this page. You only need to do number 1 and number 2. Number 1 is see the video to learn how to create the valuation landing page. And that's the video right there, right? I actually just showed you how to create it. We created the Port Sema one there in about a minute, right? So now that's it. That's what you're gonna watch on that little 7-minute video. This link, however, shows you how to advertise on Facebook, and I'm gonna kind of point it out. and I'm going to spell it out for you. You're going to put it in their little system there. And this video down here shows how you do it. And you're going to say, I want everybody in the Port Sema zip code to see my Port Sema page, right? That's it. And I want to do $20 a day for maybe 3 days. And you remember how I said that traditionally real estate agents will spend $100 or $200 to $500,000 for a print campaign, goes out via postcards, whatever, and you might get 1 to 5 leads. When our clients do this for 3 days for $20 a day, they're coming back and generating 20-something leads, 50-something leads, 80 leads. It really has a little more to do with the density of your area. Are you in a small town with 5,000 people or a town with 50,000 people? That's a factor, right? But this is the #1 way in terms of time and money for you to get listing leads. It is inside your account under landing pages. You can click on landing page dashboard and see all those tools. You can create more. So you could actually have one for Lake Ozark, one for Port Sema, one for every town that you're thinking of building your business in, right? And of course, you've got FSBO tools, as I showed you. You can get free list of condos. You can get HUD homes. All the niches that you sort of think of in terms of real estate are here, okay? And if you need to do something custom, maybe you're working on a golf course kind of property. You want to create something there. You can go right here and create that and edit the page and put in pictures or whatever you want. Those are the kinds of things you can do here. So that's how you generate seller leads, right? So we've talked about all the tools that sort of come out to generate buyer leads, those, the single property websites, the virtual tours, the e-flyers and Facebooks, which also generate referrals, but they also are focused on generating buyer leads at the same time. And then we talked about how to generate seller leads. So at that point, I'm going to take a sip of coffee and ask you if you've got any questions. And if not, I'm going to show you some of the other cool stuff we do.
The ones that were like expired listings and for sale by owners.
Yeah.
So those don't really. You have to have their email address to be able to send those, right? That's the way that's designed to work.
Yeah, some people actually combine that. That's a good question. So the question is, how do you know how to get this? You have to have their email address. Some people will get the address and they might incorporate that page on a postcard and do a mailer. Okay, but yeah, you got to get it to them, and we don't have the email address. One place to find FSBOs, an easy place and free, is Craigslist. Another place is Zillow. Okay, you can actually see FSBOs and you can start to interact with them and get that tool to them. Right? There are other third parties where you can buy a list of FSBOs, but those are the free ones. Any other question? Okay, so let's talk about, and there's going to be time for more questions, but let's talk about some of the other things that are in here. As I mentioned, we're going to get YouTube configured and we're going to auto-upload your virtual tours to YouTube. Over to the right of the Facebook, there's also this strange Google Facebook thing here, and this is a landing page. And when I talked about that sort of Facebook pay-per-click advertising of having multiple tools out on Facebook, this is one of them. It's very simple. There's actually even a more unique or luxury look of this, but this is just a lead capture tool for a particular home. So if you want to market out on Facebook and say, hey, we got a home for sale in Port Sema, this is the kind of tool that you can do, right? It's just straight up squeeze page, get the lead. That's available in there. The next one is a QR code. You can print that QR code and you can put it on a writer, or you can just print it on paper and put it on your signpost. The only thing I'm going to say about QR codes is that when you scan it, it takes you to a mobile property website, okay? And you may not know, I mean, we've seen QR codes in real estate for probably almost 4 or 5 years. Not a lot of people scan these things, okay? But for you as a real estate agent talking to a seller, you should be able to speak to this, because half of the people in the United States have a smartphone. And is your home ready to be marketed for people with smartphones? Is it mobile optimized? In listings to leads it is. The virtual tours are, the single property website are, and you can actually scan and get to that. It's not going to happen a lot, but you should be able to speak to mobile marketing because it is, everybody understands that people are on their smartphones all day long, okay? The next 4 icons are regarding blogging, and I'm going to assume that none of you blog, but what I will tell you is that we create a WordPress blog and we post every one of your listings to that blog for you. And it has some of its own SEO so it can get found as well. And it's good to just say, hey, we also blog your home, right? It's got all the contact information. That lead's going to go to you when they find it, et cetera, et cetera. And then we also have Craigslist. So I don't know, did anybody there in this call, have you ever posted to Craigslist before?
Yeah, our system that we're using that before Craigslist changed.
Yeah.
Those directly to Craigslist, yeah.
Yeah, and so Craigslist was like huge for lead generation for a number of years. And, excuse me, but it changed dramatically last fall. And we still work there. So what I want to say is if you want to see how to get to Craigslist, there's a little quick 2-minute video here. And then there's a tool right here, right? And you take this tool and you drag it up to your toolbar. And then when you click it, it kind of shows you something like this. And this is where you can see all of your listings and you can kind of copy and paste your information into the Craigslist app. So when Craigslist made their change last fall, it really freaked out the real estate market because there was a ton of free lead generation. It was really easy, and it was great, right? But Craigslist got tired of that and they changed their site, and now that's not really an option. And what really happened was that a lot of real estate agents walked away from Craigslist and said, we're not going back to that because it's just too much headache. But many of our clients, because they focus on lead generation, just kept posting. And they got blocked and they had all kinds of problems. But then they're realizing, okay, we're okay. And because there's so little competition, we're actually still getting leads. And we're getting fewer leads, but the conversion rate on those leads is much higher than it used to be. So we're a fan of Craigslist still. We do focus on these 4 key buttons that I told you about. We do some automatic tools as well, which is just helps you market that home. But Craigslist is still important, right? And so we don't want you to completely forget about it. You may not know how to use it, and you may not want to worry about it, but if you do, it's great, okay? Those are kinds of the things that we have here. And as Marty said, you do have a listing presentation. You can combine it with this checklist underneath every one of your properties. A lot of these tools are going to get emailed to you, including the tool that says your listing dropped out of the database, is it under contract, active contingent, etc. So that's kind of the story there. Up here is the tutorials, which covers everything that we've talked about today. There's also contact support. We have a dedicated support team, and you can actually click that and send a message there. And I think even this little weird orange button, if I'm right, when you click that, oh, this takes you here. You can actually just send a message. Oh no, so when you go here, there's actually even a little chat panel that you can talk to our live support people, okay? So if you got questions, you can get them there. You can certainly come back to me, and I'm happy to help as well. I do get a little bit tied up, however, so our support team is there to help you real time. I'm sorry, what was that question? I think they're available kind of 9 to 4 East Coast time. Actually, no, it's actually 9 to 6 East Coast time.
Monday through Friday?
Yes. No, you can also, we also watch it on the weekend, but our whole support team is not there. But Scott and I watch it.
I noticed you've got IVR. Is that anybody use that, and what's your thoughts on that?
IVR, yeah, a lot of our clients use that, and it's pretty interesting. We have IVR and short code texting, right? And clients who want to use those really like it because you get more phone numbers with that, right? Somebody's dialed. When they dial, we drive it to you. When we set it up for the office, every listing has its own unique code. And when you dial that number, the consumer gets three options: speak directly to the agent, listen to the recorded information, or get the virtual tour emailed to you. Any three of those options, you're going to get a lead texted to your phone, and also you're going to get an email, right? So that's kind of that's a great thing, right? So the agent gets the lead, and so as long as you are interested in that, you can certainly add that to the account, and people definitely like having that. We integrate that number with our single property website. We're going to be integrating it with the virtual tour. We also can integrate it. It's one of the templates for Craigslist, and it's automatically integrated with the print flyers. So a lot of, one thing about our IVR is there are other IVR companies out there, but it's kind of like, here's the technology, you go make the recording, and you get the number out everywhere. Well, in our system, we auto-generate the recording, it sounds great, and we integrate it with all of your tools so that you don't have to go through any legwork to get the value out of it. You will have to do, put it in print, or if you're going to do a sign writer, you can sort of, that's a little bit of work. But it's people that use it, they really love it. There are a lot of offices that use it, and then they just transfer into ours because of the automation. So, can I answer any more questions for you? Anything on that crazy Facebook story I was telling you about, or virtual tours, things like that?
Speaking when we talked earlier, you said you could post the listings on, kind of those active range there and LinkedIn, and how do you do that?
Okay, so, well, Active Rain, Active Rain is a blog, right? And you can actually click the Active Rain icon, and we give you a series of tools to post to Active Rain. Different widths. This is an open house flyer. This is a open house postcard, a virtual tour. When you're posting listings to Active Rain, only do it if you are a rainmaker. Okay, rainmaker means that Google will index the post. If you're not a rainmaker, it doesn't get indexed, and the only people that see it are other realtors. So I don't recommend that there. However, if you want to share, you do get the single property website. So if you want to share to those social networks, there is a button right here that says share, and you can share that to all kinds of social networks, right? And I'll click on it. There's over 200, right? Here's LinkedIn, here's Pinterest, here's Facebook. I will tell you this, if you do think about social networking, when internet marketers think of social networks, they don't want to just put tools out on the internet. They want to get people from that pace to them, right? You as a real estate office, if you're going to put something on Facebook, it's not just to say, hey, I'm on the internet. It's so that they can see it, interact, and get back to you, right? The number one website for that kind of activity, meaning passing from that social network to you, is Facebook. The number two, what do you think is the number two social network? Any guesses? Pinterest. It is Pinterest. So I definitely, and not many people know that, but it is Pinterest. LinkedIn, Twitter, these are way down the list. Facebook and Pinterest are really the top two, and Facebook is head and shoulders above, but Pinterest is, for being such a new site that not many people know of, it's really important for driving traffic. So I've been telling people to start thinking about that. I like Google Plus, and there's so many people going onto the Android system that there's more and more people. Still, not a lot of clickbacks, right? And it may just because people don't really know what to do there. So in terms of social networking, I recommend that, right? And LinkedIn, you can get there as well. And that's good. I think it's important to be thinking about social networks, primarily because there's a lot of traffic there, right? I'll show you something. This is a little more of an advanced concept, but since you are talking about social networks, you should sort of know what I'm going to show you. Alexa, I'm going to a website they do traffic, right? They monitor traffic real time. So real time, as of this second, these are the top sites in the United States. Google is number one, okay? For you to compete on Google is going to take a lot of money. And even when you put a lot of money, those leads aren't really always a great fit. Number two is Facebook, right? And I've already talked at length a little bit about Facebook, and I'm going to send you some tools to learn more about Facebook. And our clients are seeing the largest results from interacting with our system in Facebook, okay? Number three is Yahoo, and Yahoo is similar to Google in terms of you're going to need a pay-per-click budget, and it's hard for you to control. It's hard for you as a real estate agent to tell your local market, I've got homes coming soon, I've got open houses, I have virtual tours, I just sold properties. You cannot do that on Google or Yahoo. You can do that all day long on Facebook. And that's what I'm going to be sending Marty after this call. Number four is YouTube. We are going to auto post to YouTube. Number five is Amazon. It is not relevant to our space. Twitter is there. But as I said, Twitter is actually not a great, it's not great for clickbacks, and you need to be thinking about clickbacks. However, it's easy to get there. It takes a second, so I'm certainly for it. Wikipedia, here's LinkedIn, and then here's Pinterest down here. Craigslist is number 10. So, you know, of the most important social networking things, these are the ones to be thinking of, okay? And our tools can help you get there, and they can help you dominate Facebook. So at the office level, if you were all just using the basic free Facebook tools in front of your clients, you've got, you know, somewhere, let's just say you've got 100 listings, and there are 6 flyers for each flyer for every one of your listings, and you get your clients to actually share those in your local community. You are probably going to have such visibility for your office that you've never seen, right? Because the only way you can get visibility is probably print and some really expensive online advertising. So this comes with a system. If you use the tools the way they are, you're going to be seeding the market with news about your office and all of your agents to many people in your local communities. So the Facebook thing is really exciting. With that, if you don't have more questions, I'm going to wrap up this call and get these tools over to you. Can I help you with anything else?
The only thing I didn't see that you put on there, which I think is really important, on the single property website, show them how to do those links on the side.
Oh, yeah. A lot of those links, okay, so that's a good question. A lot of the links are going to be automated, but these links, what Marty's talking about are the lead generation links, and we've created them as we set up the account, but you may want to add more, okay? And if you're trying to get leads back, let's click on this single property website, 75 waterfront road. And here is a property, and what you got to remember, and NAR said this a few years ago, when somebody sees your home online, 1 out of 400 people want to buy it, okay? And that kind of makes sense because you get the home online, it's marketing for a while, and you get, you know, some people who want to buy it. You don't get hundreds of people or thousands of people want to buy it. Some. It fits those people. Our ads take into account that if you don't want this home, you can click some links to see more. And over on the left-hand side, it says search all homes, right? So search all homes is a good generic sort of thing, but since this home is in Sunrise Beach, a Sunrise Beach link would make a lot of sense. Now, Sunrise Beach is also waterfront, right? So a waterfront home for sale might be a great link. And also a good link might be Sunrise Beach homes for under 400,000, right? There's always a place where you sell homes where homes move real fast and then homes sit on the market for a long time. Where the price point is where they move, you want to reflect that in your links because you're trying to get people to interact with you. And how you do that is for every listing is a green button. And when we click on that green button, this shows you the links that are created in your account. This home is in Sunrise Beach. Let's see, hopefully you've got a Sunrise Beach homes for sale link right here. Right here. Sunrise Beach homes for sale. And I can click that. That home was under was like, that was a small kind of summer cottage. So let's say Sunrise Homes under 300. Well, we'll do under 500. It's probably a better number. I'm going to take Lake Ozark's link off. Let's see how many links we have. And then we got, what is your homework? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is the right amount of links. 4 is actually maybe a little bit better, and I'll show you why I'm saying that. So we've got Sunrise Beach under 500K, search all homes, Lake Ozark homes, save and close. And then what is your homework, right? Save and close. And what that does is that puts those links in the virtual tour, in the single property website, in every e-flyer and every Facebook ad. So when somebody sees this home now, if they like the home, they can interact, they can call you, they can email you, they can schedule a showing, they can follow this home. They can also say, well, you know what, I don't want that home, maybe it's too small. Well, let's see what else is happening under 500K. When I click that link, where do I go? I land on yourlakeozarkshome.com, looking right at the homes on Sunrise Beach, and there are 315. Right now, and these are all homes under $500,000, I'm getting forced to register right now, right? And that's because I've been on your site a number of times already, and it knows, like, I've already seen 5 properties, so I got to register to continue. So that's a great way of capturing leads, and that's why we want to have those right links to get people, you know, if they don't want this home, what else might they want? Well, they're definitely looking at something in Sunrise Beach, so let's do the obvious Sunrise Beach, right? Search all homes is a good one, and then what is your homework? If you get the basic ones there, great. A price point, maybe a subdivision. In some of your towns, there are certain neighborhoods that are really coveted. You might want a link like that, okay? And they are, the bulk of those links are already created in your account, but if you needed to add one, you could actually click that green button and say, because this one's in Rocky Mountain, okay? And let's just imagine it was a condo, right? You can say, well, let's just call my link, because I want to get more leads for here, Rocky Mount condos, and then drive this website URL to your website with the results page, and then click active, and that makes it an active link for that particular property. It also adds that link as in the inventory so that you can use it for other listings. But that's how you do that. It's really important because, you know, we want you to capture as many leads as possible. And in the off chance that they don't want to buy your home, we still have the ability to get them into your system and register. And those links flow through all the tools that we've been talking about. Single property website, virtual tour, e-flyer, and Facebook. A lot of those links are going to get auto-associated. So when the listings come in, they're going to put the links in there automatically. And but if you need to add more, you can certainly go right in there and add it. Marty, what do you think? It's huge. We have, when we're looking at tools, everybody, we have what we call ad views, right? And when I click on a single property website, this is an ad view, okay? We're looking at it together. When consumers go over here and click on these links over here, we call it a click-through. On average, our clients have a 30% click-through rate, and some of our offices, actually Prudential, California, which is now Berkshire Hathaway, they have, and they operate in the center of California, so not out in the, you know, the high-tech areas. In the smaller towns, they have a 50% click-through rate. So a lot of people are looking at these links and clicking through. And the reason, they actually spend a little time on that, and they say, hey, if this home is in Camden, we want to make sure we're going to have Camden homes for sale, Camden homes from 2 to 400, and Camden homes from 4 to 600, and people see those and they click on them, right? So you can put a little more effort into it, but the more traffic you're able to develop, the more leads, right? And that's what we want to really be focusing on, is how can we use our marketing to get leads directly to the agent, get them back to the office, just get leads. And that's what Listings to Leads does. It leverages everything we've got, every tool that you're used to in real estate marketing, and really beefs it up and says, hey, let's give the consumers, let's get them to interact with us. Let's get them into our system. So everybody, I want to remind you, the tutorial section's there, our support team is there, I'm here, and we know that these tools work. I want to kind of show you something, because you're going to see, I'm going to send you the stuff on Facebook after the call. I'm going to show you one of the things on ActiveRain, because I think when you're hearing about new marketing tools and stuff like that, you know, it sounds good, but who knows, you know, who knows Vince, and who knows what's really, you know, what really works. You can go to ActiveRain and you can see a lot of people talking about us. And we've got, on the new website, we even got cooler kind of things here. But there's a lot, everybody here is just saying, you know, stellar things, and we're excited about that. But I'm going to show you one of our agents that signed up. And this is just an agent, right? Not the office. And it says, I started 2 weeks ago, and in 3 days got 83 leads, 4 converted listings, and 3 buyers. It's all about the landing pages, hard work, and conversion, right? And now this is like part of their main system, right? This is what they're doing. The tools that she's using are the tools that I have shown you. So the thing about Listings to Leads, it's not like you paying for, let's say you're paying Trulia or Zillow. In a company like that, you can pay them and they'll send you leads, and then they're either going to work for you or they're not. In a company like ours, Marty is you know, covering the bill. The value occurs, however, when you use the tools. Okay, we're here to support you to use those tools. When you use them, everybody gets results. So I recommend you use them, learn it. I'm going to send you some advanced stuff on Facebook. For your business in real estate, Facebook looks very important for the next few years. Maybe after that, something else is going to be more important, but for right now, it's going completely bananas. Not everybody knows it. Very few people know how to use it, but our clients are having a ton of success, and we want to share that success with you. So please pay a little bit of attention to that when I get those tools out to you. The rest of the stuff is all great. So Marty, if there aren't any more questions, I'm going to thank everybody for your time.
Thank you, man.
Okay, guys.
You know, I'll be talking to you.
Awesome. Everybody, really thank you for your time. Please feel free to lean on us. We can help you with a lot of this stuff here. And even if it's not something that you see in here, we've got a lot of technology that we're always working on, and we're refreshing things. So if you've got questions, you know, send them back to me, and we'll, you know, kind of see if it's coming down the pipe. So everybody, thanks a lot. And Marty,